This is Rosa. Our grandfathers were brothers, which makes us second cousins. In her Christmas letter, Rosa wrote, "Merv, you are so fortunate that your grandfather left Russia when he did." Rosa's grandfather stayed in Russia. He witnessed the Russian Revolution of 1917. He survived the Civil War and the famine of 1921. He died during the second famine of 1933, the one widely known in Ukraine as the Holodomor. Rosa was born in the German village of Zelts in Odessa district, as were our grandfathers. In 1944, all of the Germans of Odessa district were evacuated and exiled to Siberia. Rosa grew up in a Soviet labor camp in Kazakhstan, behind the Iron Curtain. I grew up on a farm in southwestern Saskatchewan. Like Rosa, I was once a teacher of mathematics, but our lives could not have been more different. This I owe to my grandfather, Conrad Weiss. I never knew him. He died 7 months before I was born, but I have learned quite a bit about him. He was born in 1882. I obtained his baptism record from the Russian archive in Saratov. It is written in Cyrillic script. It provides the exact date, the names of his parents, and the names of his godparents. Conrad married my grandmother in Zelts in 1908. She was 6 months pregnant when they married, and she came from a prominent family in Zelts, which did not approve of this matchup. They were married in this church, considered at the time to be the most beautiful church in all of South Russia. This is what it looked like in 2005. At 20 years of age, Conrad was called to serve in the Russian army. In the Russo-Japanese War, he served on a naval expedition dispatched to defend Russian territory in Manchuria. The Russian fleet was literally sunk by the smaller Japanese navy in the famous Battle of Tsushima. 7,000 Russian sailors and soldiers died that day in May of 1905. 2,500 survivors were taken prisoner, my grandfather among them. They were held as prisoners of war in Japan for 6 months. Later in Canada, he would entertain his children with the few Japanese words and phrases which he had learned. Conrad's military service had made him keenly aware of the deteriorating political climate in pre-revolutionary Russia. My grandparents decided to emigrate to Canada. They knew they would never again feel the familiar comforts of their home village, their families, their friends and neighbors. In January of 1913, they left Russia with 2 of their 3 daughters born in Zelts. They arrived in Maple Creek, Saskatchewan, mid-April 1913. The ship manifest records that they traveled with $50 cash. My father, on the right in this photo, was born in 1919 in a sod house near Fox Valley, Saskatchewan. He was one of 9 more children born in Canada. I doubt he ever thought about his good fortune to be born in Canada. Like grandfather, he was too busy building a better life for his family in the New World. I am the one who has had the luxury of time to reflect on my good fortune to grow up in a free and democratic society. Rosa's Christmas letter reminded me that our family owes its comfortable life to Conrad's decision to come to Canada. Rosa lives in Germany now. She is at peace with the world, but she still wonders why her grandfather did not leave Russia at the same time as his brother Conrad.